John Wayne was driving alone through the New Mexico desert in 1971 when he saw two hippie girls hitchhiking on the side of the road. Everything about them went against what he believed. Anti-war protesters, long hair, dirty clothes, the kind who spit on soldiers returning from Vietnam. His first instinct was to drive past, but what he did instead and what happened when he brought them to his film set proves something about character that we desperately need to remember today. Summer 1971, New Mexico. Empty highway stretching through the desert in every direction. Hot, dry, the kind of heat that makes the road shimmer and dance. The sun beating down, merciless and unforgiving. John Wayne is driving to the Cowboys film set. Big production, major studio backing. He's the star. They're shooting a Western about an aging rancher who hires schoolboys as cowboys to drive cattle across dangerous territory. Wayne is 64 years old, lung cancer survivor, missing one lung, but still working, still making films, still refusing to slow down. He's alone in the car, radio playing low, country music drifting through the speakers, windows down, hot desert air blowing through. The landscape is empty, desolate, beautiful in its harshness. Then he sees them, two figures on the side of the road, hitchhiking, thumbs out, hoping for mercy from a stranger. As Wayne gets closer, he can see them clearly. Two young women, maybe 18, maybe 20, long hair flowing down their backs, one blonde, one brunette. Dirty clothes, loose skirts, beaded necklaces catching the sunlight, sandals covered in dust from walking miles on this forgotten highway. Hippies. Wayne's first instinct is to drive past. He's seen their type before. Anti-war protesters, anti-establishment, the kind who march in the streets with signs calling soldiers baby killers, the kind who spit on soldiers returning from Vietnam, the kind who burn flags and call cops pigs, the kind who have no respect for the things he holds sacred: country, duty, honor. His foot stays on the gas, but something stops him. Something tugs at his conscience. Maybe it's the empty road stretching for miles in both directions. Maybe it's the brutal heat that could kill someone unprepared. Maybe it's the fact that they're just kids, young, vulnerable, alone on a highway in the middle of nowhere with no water, no shelter, no protection. His conscience won't let him leave them. Not out here. Not like this. Wayne slows down, pulls onto the shoulder, stops. Dust swirls around the car. The two girls run toward the car, surprised, relieved, grateful. They open the back door, climb in quickly before he can change his mind. "Thank you so much," the blonde one says, her voice breathless. "We've been out here for hours." Wayne nods, pulls back onto the highway without a word. Silence. Heavy, awkward silence. The girls sit in the back, Wayne drives. Nobody speaks for a full minute. The tension is thick enough to cut. Wayne can see them in the rearview mirror. They're looking at each other, eyes wide, whispering quietly. He can't hear what they're saying, but he can read their body language. Disbelief, confusion, recognition dawning slowly. Then the brunette leans forward slightly, her voice hesitant. "Wait, are you John Wayne?" Wayne keeps his eyes on the road, his expression unchanged. "That's what they call me."
The girls go quiet again, not sure what to say, not sure if they should say anything. The most famous movie star in America just picked them up hitchhiking. This doesn't happen. This can't be real. Wayne breaks the silence, his voice calm, matter-of-fact. "Where you headed?" The blonde answers, trying to sound confident. "Albuquerque. We're trying to get to a commune there. Our friends are waiting for us." Wayne doesn't respond to that, just drives. The radio plays quietly. A country song, slow and melancholy. A ballad about loneliness and long roads. The blonde girl hums something different under her breath. Rock and roll, psychedelic, clashing with the country music filling the car. Wayne notices but says nothing, just drives. After a few minutes, the brunette speaks again, gathering courage. "Mr. Wayne, can I ask you something?" "Go ahead." "Why did you stop for us? I mean, we probably don't look like the kind of people you'd normally help." Wayne thinks for a moment, choosing his words carefully. "Couldn't leave you out there. Not in this heat. Not on this road. Most people do. Most people just drive right past us. I'm not most people. The blonde leans forward now, more confident, more confrontational. You make war movies, don't you? Movies that glorify war? Wayne's jaw tightens slightly. I've made a few. Don't you think that's wrong? Glorifying war? Making it look heroic when it's really just murder? When it's really just sending young men to die for nothing? The car goes quiet. The temperature seems to drop despite the desert heat. Wayne could get angry, could pull over right now and tell them to get out, could leave them on the side of the road and drive away without looking back. But he doesn't, just keeps driving, hands steady on the wheel. What's your name? The blonde hesitates, surprised by the question. Jennifer. Jennifer, you ever been to war? No. Then maybe don't judge what you don't understand. Jennifer opens her mouth to argue, ready to launch into a speech about imperialism and the military-industrial complex. Then she closes it, sits back. The brunette touches her arm gently, a silent message. Let it go. Don't push this. Wayne glances in the rearview mirror, looks at the brunette. What's your name? Elizabeth. You feel the same way Jennifer does about war? Elizabeth's voice is quieter when she answers, sadder, weighted with real grief. My brother went to Vietnam over a year ago. We haven't heard from him. No letters, no word, nothing. We don't even know if he's alive or dead. Wayne's expression softens slightly. The hard edge in his jaw relaxes. I'm sorry to hear that. That's hard on a family. That's why I'm out here. I couldn't stay home. Couldn't sit in that house with my parents staring at the door every time someone knocked, wondering if it was someone coming to tell us he's dead. So I left, found the movement, thought maybe being part of something, protesting the war, would help me feel like I was doing something. But it didn't. I'm just lost now.
Jennifer reaches over, takes Elizabeth's hand, her own eyes wet. We're from the same neighborhood. Known each other since we were kids. Elizabeth's brother used to give us rides to school. Now we're just trying to figure out what to do, where to go, how to make sense of any of this. Wayne drives in silence for a moment, looks at them in the mirror, really looks at them this time, not as symbols, not as hippies or protesters or political statements, just as people. And he realizes something. They're not rebels, they're not radicals, they're just scared kids, hungry, tired, lost, running from pain they don't know how to process. When's the last time you ate? Wayne asks. The girls look at each other. Jennifer shrugs. Yesterday morning, someone at a gas station gave us some chips and a can of soda. Wayne nods slowly, makes a decision. His voice is firm, but not unkind. I'm not giving you money. The girls' faces fall slightly. They weren't expecting charity, but the rejection still stings. But if you're hungry, you can work. I'm heading to a film set, big production. We need people, cooking, cleaning, basic work. You do the job, you earn your food. You earn your keep. That's honorable. That's respectable. You interested? Jennifer and Elizabeth look at each other, stunned. This is the last thing they expected when they climbed into this car. Then Jennifer speaks carefully, not quite believing what she's hearing. You're offering us jobs? Real jobs? I'm offering you a chance to earn. Big difference between earning and taking. You work, you get paid. Simple as that. Deal? Elizabeth's voice is small, vulnerable. We don't have anywhere to stay. We've been sleeping outside. We'll figure that out. But first, you work. You prove you can show up and do what you're supposed to do. Then we'll worry about the rest. Deal? The girls nod, still in shock. Deal. They arrive at the Cowboys film set an hour later. It's organized chaos, a small temporary city built in the desert. Trailers, equipment trucks, generators, crew members everywhere, cameras, lights, horses tied to posts, dozens of people moving with purpose and precision. Wayne parks the car, gets out. The girls climb out of the back seat, squinting in the bright sunlight. They look around, completely overwhelmed. This is a real Hollywood film production. Big, professional, intimidating. They've never seen anything like this. Wayne starts walking toward the production office, his stride confident and purposeful. The girls follow a few steps behind, trying to keep up. People stare, whisper to each other. John Wayne just arrived with two hippie girls. Long hair, beaded necklaces, dirty clothes, bare feet and sandals. Nobody says anything directly, but everyone's watching, curious, confused, judging. Somewhere in the chaos, a set photographer lifts his camera. He's been hired to document the production, capturing behind-the-scenes moments for the studio archive and publicity materials. He sees Wayne walking with the two hippies. Unusual composition, interesting contrast, the Duke with two hippies. He raises the camera, focuses, clicks. The shutter captures the moment. Wayne in the center, the girls slightly behind him, the desert and equipment blurred in the background. None of them notice. Wayne keeps walking. The girls follow. The photographer lowers his camera and moves on to the next shot. Just doing his job, just another day documenting a major Hollywood production. Wayne reaches the production manager's trailer, knocks firmly. A man in his 40s, sunburned and stressed, opens the door, sees Wayne, then sees the girls behind him. His expression shifts to confusion. "Duke, what's going on?"
Wayne gestures to Jennifer and Elizabeth with a slight nod. "These young ladies have lost their way. I'm sure we can find work around here for them. One can help in the kitchen with meal preparation. One can help with cleaning and laundry. They'll need a place to stay, too. Can you arrange that?" The production manager looks at the girls, then back at Wayne. He knows better than to argue with John Wayne. Duke runs this set as much as the director does. "Yeah, sure, I'll figure something out." "Good. Get 'em cleaned up, fed, put 'em to work. They start tomorrow morning." Wayne turns to the girls. His voice is firm but fatherly. "Do the job. Show up on time. Work hard. Don't complain. You'll be fine." He walks away toward his trailer without waiting for a response. The girls stand there, still processing what just happened. Their lives just changed in the span of a car ride. Days pass. The routine takes shape. Jennifer works in the kitchen, helping the head cook prepare meals for the 80-person crew. Chopping vegetables, washing dishes, serving food. Simple work, honest work. Elizabeth handles laundry and cleaning in the trailers, washing clothes, making beds, scrubbing floors. Nothing glamorous, nothing exciting, but it's real work, dignified work. They're fed 3 meals a day. They have a small trailer to share, clean clothes, soap, running water. For the first time in months, they feel stable, safe, human. But not everyone accepts them. Some crew members keep their distance, look at them sideways, judge them quietly. 2 hippie girls that Duke brought in. Outsiders, different, don't belong here. At lunch one day, Jennifer and Elizabeth get their food from the line, plates full of hot food. They look around for somewhere to sit. The tables are full of crew members, cameramen, grips, electricians, wranglers. Nobody invites them over. Nobody makes space. Nobody even makes eye contact. So they sit alone at a table in the corner, away from everyone else, isolated, separate. Wayne notices. He's getting his lunch, plate full. Normally, he'd take his food back to his trailer, eat alone in air-conditioned quiet, away from the noise and chaos. But today, he doesn't. He walks across the dining area, straight to the corner table where Jennifer and Elizabeth sit alone, and he sits down. The girls look up, shocked, eyes wide. Wayne starts eating, casual, like this is the most normal thing in the world. Like sitting with 2 hippie girls while the entire crew watches is just another Tuesday. The entire crew notices immediately. Conversations stop mid-sentence, forks pause halfway to mouths. People stare openly now, not even trying to hide it. John Wayne is eating lunch with the hippie girls. This is unusual, very unusual. This means something. Wayne doesn't seem to care about the attention. He asks the girls how work is going. They answer carefully, nervously, still not quite believing this is happening. Then Wayne says something about the heat that makes Jennifer laugh. Then Elizabeth laughs. Then Wayne smiles, a genuine smile that reaches his eyes. For 30 minutes they sit there, talking about small things, the weather, the horses, the desert, joking about the cook's coffee being strong enough to strip paint, like a father eating with his 2 daughters, natural, easy, human. The crew watches, and something shifts in the air, something changes. If Duke accepts them, they must be okay. If Duke sits with them, breaks bread with them, treats them like people, then they're not outsiders anymore. They're part of the production. They're part of the family. After that lunch, everything changes. Crew members start nodding to the girls when they pass, saying good morning, asking how they're doing, making small talk about the work. The cold distance disappears like morning fog. Jennifer and Elizabeth aren't isolated anymore. They're integrated, accepted, part of the team. Wayne doesn't sit with them every day, just that once, but once was enough. The message was sent. The crew received it loud and clear. Filming continues through the hot desert days. Wayne sees the girls occasionally, waves, asks how they're doing, checks in without hovering, without making a big deal of it, just normal kindness. Jennifer and Elizabeth settle into the routine. Work, eat, sleep, repeat. It's not glamorous, it's not the revolution they thought they were part of, but it's stable, honest. They're earning their way, and that feels good in a way they didn't expect. When filming wraps several weeks later, Wayne makes sure they have references, official letters on production company letterhead stating they worked on the Cowboys production. Good workers, reliable, punctual, recommended for future employment.
With those references, they can find other jobs, legitimate jobs, a path forward. Jennifer becomes a cook, works in restaurants, catering companies, eventually a hotel kitchen. Steady work for 20 years. She never gets rich, but she never goes hungry again either. Elizabeth becomes a house cleaner, then eventually starts her own small cleaning business, gets married to a carpenter, raises 2 children, builds a normal, stable, good life. They never see Wayne again after filming ends. He moves on to the next project, the next film. They move on to their lives, to building something stable and real. But they never forget, not for a single day. In 1995, 24 years later, Elizabeth gives an interview to a local New Mexico newspaper. They're doing a story about the Cowboys, an anniversary piece tracking down people who worked on the production. Someone mentions Elizabeth's name. The reporter calls her. What was it like working with John Wayne? Elizabeth pauses, takes a breath, then tells the whole story. The highway, the hitchhiking, the unexpected kindness, the film set, the isolated lunch when Wayne sat down with them and changed everything. He didn't save us with money or speeches, Elizabeth tells the reporter. He saved us by giving us work, by treating us like we mattered, by sitting with us when nobody else would. We were just lost kids who'd made some bad choices. He gave us a path back. He showed us that dignity comes from earning your way. The reporter asks about her brother, the one who went to Vietnam. Elizabeth's voice softens, becomes tender. He came home in 1973, 2 years after I met Mr. Wayne. He found me working, clean, living a normal life. He was different, quieter, haunted, but alive. He asked me what happened to me, how I got from hitchhiking on highways to having a real life. I smiled and said, John Wayne gave me a job. He laughed, didn't believe me at first. I had to show him the reference letter. The story runs in the paper. Small piece, local interest, but it captures something important, something real about character and kindness and seeing people as individuals instead of stereotypes. Years later, someone searching through the Cowboys production archives finds a photograph, grainy, black and white, slightly out of focus, chaos in the background, equipment, crew members, horses, and in the center, walking with purpose, John Wayne. 2 young women beside him, long hair, beaded necklaces, heading toward the production office. None of them are looking at the camera. Just a routine moment captured by a set photographer doing his job, documenting the day. But that photograph tells a story that transcends the image itself, a story of two lost girls on a highway and a man who stopped when he didn't have to, who offered work instead of charity, who sat at a table when everyone else kept their distance. Here's what that teaches us, what that moment on a desert highway in 1971 proves about character. Don't judge by appearance. Wayne saw two hippie girls and his first instinct was to drive past. Everything about them went against what he believed, their politics, their lifestyle, their disrespect for the things he held sacred, country, military, traditional values. But he stopped anyway, because beneath the long hair and beaded necklaces, he saw something else. Young people, hungry, lost, vulnerable, and leaving them on that highway in the desert heat felt wrong. He didn't lecture them about politics, didn't try to change their minds about the war, didn't argue about patriotism or duty or any of the things he could have preached about. He just offered them something simple: work, a chance to earn, a path back to normal life, dignity through labor. And when the crew judged them, when people kept their distance and made them feel unwelcome, Wayne did the simplest thing imaginable. He sat down, ate lunch with them. 30 minutes, that's all it took. One meal, one gesture of acceptance, and the whole dynamic changed, the whole culture shifted. That's leadership. Not speeches, not grand gestures, not forcing people to accept others, just sitting at a table with people everyone else avoids, leading by example. Jennifer and Elizabeth could have disappeared into the chaos of the early 70s, could have ended up in some drug-filled commune, lost their 20s to addiction and aimlessness, lost themselves entirely. But Wayne gave them an alternative, showed them another path: work, structure, earning your keep, building something real. 20 years later, Jennifer was still cooking, making honest money. Elizabeth had a family, a business, a life worth living, all because one man stopped on a highway in 1971, offered work instead of charity, and sat at their table when nobody else would. That's the power of one choice, one moment of conscience, one decision to see people as individuals instead of stereotypes or political symbols. Wayne was 64 years old, one lung, driving to a film set. Could have passed those girls without a second thought. Nobody would have blamed him. Nobody would even have known. But his conscience wouldn't let him, and 2 lives changed forever because of it. John Wayne could have driven past. He could have judged them. He could have left them to their fate. But he knew something we often forget today. We are all on the same road. Sometimes you just need someone to stop and open the door, to see you as a person instead of a category, to offer a hand up instead of a handout. That's character. That's what we've lost. That's what we need to remember.